What's good, everybody? So this build is mainly about charge. The main damage that you see on the screen right there is only from the charge. I know you see Hota, but this is not a typical Hota build. Here is Hota only for the buffing our main ability, which is charge. And I was able to reach even 500 million, 560 million, but it was off stream. I didn't record it, so here you go with little Duriel one shot or big hit. And this is no Ubers at all. You don't need no Shaco and no Grandfather. I got none of that. The only thing I have is Starless Skies, but you don't need that one. It's extra damage, but you don't really need that one. So I'll take you straight in the game. And let's talk about the skills. It didn't really change much from my last build with Upheaval, but typical 2 points in basic skill to open up core skills. I did take 1 point in rend, so I can get all skills. Probably don't even need it. It's really up to you. This increase doesn't do that much, but it comes in handy in Nightmare Dungeons or like Walls, so I just keep it there. So full maxed out Hota, and we are going with Violent Hammer of the Ancients. This is the after we overpower, we get a 30% X multiplier damage increase for our charge, and Hota should be our opener because we do have Bonebreaker, guaranteed overpower, and dominate. So yeah, the first hit will be overpower. The problem with charge is if you have the new ring, Ravenous, it's gonna eat another extra stack of overpower because it applies rend, which is 200 slashing weapon. But more about it later. We go with the double swing for a vulnerable here. If you don't have the pet one that makes it vulnerable, you can go with this for sure. Then we get the Rallying Cry, the classic for Fury Generation, or sometimes I even pick Fortify. I picked this one mainly for Walls, and this is for bosses, single target. Max HP, because Overpower does kill it for max HP. Then we get Warcry. I'm trying to stack this as well. I have +4 from Pants. So yeah, Warcry, even this does stack the damage quite well. Movement speed, to be mobile. Don't need it on bosses, you can put it somewhere else, like Pit Fighter for more damage. Charge the absolute maxed out for power charge for cooldown reduction. My goal is to make charge 6-second cooldown on single target on bosses, so you can only charge, but that will be, I don't know, I don't have Shaco, so I need to test that with Shaco. You have some DR just to access Fervor. We use Unconstrained, so we don't really need 3 points in here. You could even get like 1 point in here, but yeah, just 2 for good measures. Next up, we get a counter offensive for 45 damage increase, or like when you have damage increase when you have 45 over 50% HP. We got Fierce Impulse for the weapon swap. We do that a lot because of Earth Strike aspect on our two-hander. It's our main aspect to stack for charge for the big hit. Heavy-handed for crit damage. Brute Force for more overpower. We do bind 200 bludgeoning weapon for our charge. And then Vallop. If you can get Vallop on Amulet, it does so much damage increase, it's crazy. I have a second one with heavy-handed, but yeah, Vallop just does more damage. Since crit damage from second season, I believe, got nerfed. Wrath of the Berserker, the classic damage increase, and then Unconstrained, like I mentioned. Going straight to Paragon board, we start off with Brawl. I didn't change anything from my Paragon board compared to my last build, which can be also up top if you guys prefer Upheaval with the new aspect. Sundered Ground, I believe. I'll Brawl in the first one to also buff the physical, which is armor and physical damage here. Second board is our Blood Rage. I'm almost 80% bonus for this node. This is the most important node for endgame because you will get, or you should get Berserking Source on your weapons stats. So yeah, try to focus on every single Berserking node that you can on the Paragon board because this is all gonna add up to Blood Rage. Second glyph is Ire. I don't have maxed out with Strength. I just have it for the requirement. I picked some Fire Resistance. If you're struggling, you can pick that too. If you don't struggle, I mean, you can put these points somewhere else. Third board is a Bonebreaker, the guaranteed OP. And then we have Crusher for damage with maces, but also damage with overpower. Fourth board is Carnage, second most important after Blood Rage, I would say. I do take this for attack speed. Once again, it does help stacking that Earth Striker aspect faster. The glyph you're running here is Martial to buff the damage reduction, but also, or mainly, the damage for Berserking. This is the most important. Once again, damage for Berserking, take these notes. I had 1 extra point, damage to elites. I could put it here for lightning resistance and armor, but I'm capped on lightning resistance and kinda even armor because of Juggernaut aspect. But yeah, we should be getting Weapon Master here for weapon swap as well. Stacks well with Fierce Impulse and All this max fury or gaining fury, it gets amplified with resource generation on your jewelry, which I don't have. But Shaco does have one. I don't have it though. And last board, we have a Decimator here, really good for vulnerable and overpower build, which we are. Last glyph is Dominate for overpower damage, and once again for guaranteed overpower. Probably not needed this one, because my once you get like 2000 plus, 2000 plus or percent overpower, this one it doesn't really give that much damage, but yeah, I don't know, like even 200% here is not too bad. But I would probably try out Wrath. If I get the Grandfather, I would probably go with this one. I think this will yield more damage than Overpower here, Dominate. And this will be the Paragon board. There is another version I have in my mind I want to try out. It's with Selig and stacking max resource, which means putting Ramaladne in our dual wield, binding dual wield to our charge so we can benefit from max resource. Same with Double Swing. But that would require a Warbringer board, and I would probably put it instead of Bonebreaker, but we'll see. Or instead of, and Decimator is just too good damage increase, so I don't know, I would probably change it. I would check it out. I would try both versions, I guess. That was the Paragon board, straight up to gear. Running Tusk Helm, once again, no Ubrinik, no Shaco, no nothing. You could also run Ghastlair, but I don't really test that one much. I'm just running with this one. Chest piece, you want to get all the offensive stats on the chest piece. So I get overpowered the bludgeoning weapon, brawling skill damage, which also does a lot for charge. We got bludgeoning damage and then weapon swap damage, since we do that a lot between 3. So you can see my charge is 200 mace. Hota is the same, obviously, and then we have dual wield. Slashing is for the rend, which is from this ring right here, Ravenous. Gloves, we're running attack speed, crit chance, overpower, and Hota. You could go with double swing instead of overpower damage, but I just like this one because I like to use these for walls as well. Accelerating helps a lot with, but actually accelerating is a must because it's just enough attack speed to stack this Earth Striker aspect because of the 5-second window from Hota right here. So there you go. Depends here, you could use 2, you could use Tybalt's Will, or you can use these. Depends what's your RNG for drops. This might be really hard to get. Charge, Warcry, and then double the R. Or you can run like max HP. You don't need percent armor on any of the pieces. Don't run that. It's wasted, it's useless. As you can see, I'm almost armor capped for tier 100, which is 154 level mobs. And for that you need like 13,200 armor, if I remember correctly. So if I could pop a potion right here, that would be exactly the cap. But even if you run like 11,000 armor, it doesn't matter. You will not die. Like it's tier 100 vault, Nightmare Dungeon, it's easy. You should care about resistances though. You should keep this maxed out. So these were the pens. We go with Juggernaut, my favorite aspect of the season. Really like this one. We don't really need evade, so this increased cooldown doesn't really bother us that much. For the boots, we want to run triple resistance and movement speed. Max evade charges, you know, that's really good. That counters this aspect a lot. So that's what we aim for. This was the armor we want to run rubies for max HP, because once again, max HP is beneficial for overpower. Overpower scales from max HP, as you can see over here. Weapons, 200 mace. These are the stats you want to aim for on every single weapon. So all stats, strength, overpower, berserking, all these 4. Running veteran brawler to stack up charge. Now double swing, when you use double swing once, you get 2 stacks for this aspect, which is super handy. So before you stack up this aspect, you are perfectly fine, already capped with this aspect. So very nice. Other 200 already showed this. This is the Earth Striker. We're running double dual or double maces for overpower damage and melee Vallop. You could also run with sword. I tried it as well. Sword will be better with Grandfather for the crit damage increase, but I will probably try another build with Ramaladne, which is a sword. But a Hota aspect here for damage, obviously, and some AoE. Then we have Edgemaster for even more damage. The ring here is Ravenous, the new one. I really like the stats on it. I was really lucky with rolling max crit chance and +3 brawling skills. Those are the 2 stats you want to aim for on the ring. If you have low vulnerable damage or damage to bleeding enemies, doesn't matter, it's fine. Or if you have 2 duration on rend, doesn't matter. Charges no cooldown, so you will be able to get this rend on the target non-stop. Another ring here is Starless Skies. Now this is uber unique. You don't need this one. you can slap a ring with, I will show you what stats I ran before. Give me a second, let me find it real quick. I had this one, but instead of max fury, I had max HP. But you don't even need max HP, you can get like great damage, vulnerable, stuff like that, overpower damage. But a resource, that stat I just talked about, Berserk and crit chance, and then you can slap Limitless Rage, you can slap Berserk Fury if you're struggling with that. Bolt Chieftain should be for bolts. I do have a second ring somewhere with that, or ahead. And there it is actually, that's what I was using for Volt. So this is what I was using instead of Starless Skies with a different aspect. And then Amulet here, super lucky with this one. Shout out to Traker, he gave me this Amulet. I just rolled the 4th stat on it. Super great, amazing Amulet, amazing. CDR and rolling skills are the 2 main stats you want to look for on Amulet, if you can. And then obviously Vallop is the extra damage. You can roll with Brute Force as well for the overpower right here. That's also okay, but I'm a big fan of Vallop because it does affect every skill, even double swing, which also does some nice damage. Considering I have no points in it at all, but I have points in it, and the gloves could be also pretty good. But Barb has so many good passives that it's kind of hard to do that. So this was the setup, the gear. Now talk about the pet. I was super lucky with Genesis and Evernight. But I'm super unlucky with Grandfather and Shaco. Almost 300 runs deep and still nothing. But anyways, Tempest here, super fast skill. That's we use this one for the Evernight. If you don't have this one, I would slap probably like Resource or Crit Chance. This one is really good, efficiency. So since this is 1 second attack speed, you can have these buffs non-stop. So both with vulnerable uptime coming in handy. But this is not that good. I might change it for crit chance or resource because we have double swing, which is our second skill in rotation. We open with Hota for the buff to proc, then double swing for vulnerable, could be, but mainly for the weapon swap, and then back and forth to get 7 stacks for Earth Striker, and then boom, charge for a big number. I run 45 to get counter offensive easier because we run the Fury resource on Rallying Cry. But it's up to you which you want to run, which you prefer. Flash for Adrenaline, this is pretty given. Damage increase. With both Duration Tactical, you can get these pretty easily and level them as well. They made it super easier after the latest patch or patch before. So these 2 will make your Flash for Adrenaline uptime non-stop. And what Genesis does is just making the damage increase much higher. Normally it's 20%, I believe, but with this rune, it's 50%. That's the pet. Talk about the technique. There is only one to go with, which is 200x expertise. Some of you might think like, or if you don't have Ravenous, a ring that applies bleed, so we don't need bleed, because bleed, yeah, pretty good DR and whatnot, damage to bleeding as well. See, 10% DR, not too bad. And damage to bleeding, I believe I have as well, 63%. Yeah, so you could totally go with 200 sword to proc the bleeding. Or on the ring, if you don't have Starless Skies, you can go with Berserk Ripping, because we have non-stop Berserk Ripping. Yeah, but I like to run the 200x. And honestly, there is maybe another way to go with this one in vaults or AoEs, but I'll make a separate build for vaults and like speedrunning for the gauntlet, for the leaderboard that got announced for February 13th. So I'll talk more about it later. It's not the video for it. Consumables, you can go with max HP for more overpower, or you can just go straight with overpower increase potion right here. You can go with attack speed, which is Assault. I don't have that one. Crit damage. I like to go with crit chance potion, which I don't have, I believe. I think I use them. But there is one that gives you flat crit chance. You could also use this one. It's called Heady Precision Elixir, the one that you craft at the Alchemist. This one is the weak one, the weakest version. The upgraded version, I think it gives you 6% crit chance and like 30% crit damage. I'm not sure on that one. But something like that. I really like that one. Because without any buffs or stuff like that, we have 48% crit chance. This one gives a lot of crit chance, 12%. It's crazy. Compared to like Starless Skies, right? This is a 7.5%. I would expect this one to be more. But yeah, that will be it. I'm not sure if I covered everything, but there's one thing with charge, mainly for PC, because on console it's really hard to aim. But charge in single target, if you use it on the single target and the mob is small, it just goes through, it doesn't do any damage, right? So what you gotta do is aim in front of the boss right here, and it will proc the damage right here. So that's a little trick. That's a little trick with charge. A lot of people are wondering what's happening here. It's been there since Season 1, I believe, because I did play Charge build before all these crazy buffs in Season 1. It was good fun. I did. No 45 tier 100s. It's really very good. But anyways, I stream every day on Twitch. If you want to see this live in action, I will have it in the pinned comment section. And yeah, I will host some free derails as well on the stream for the next couple of days, because I also play WoW, so we're getting ready for Phase 2 SOD, Season Discovery. But if you're interested for some free derails, hit me up, come to the stream. Because as you can see, I have some big grind going on. I still need Shaco and Grandfather. It is what it is. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it big time. Good luck with the grind. Let me know what you think about it. And until then, take it easy. Peace.